digital first people.
Mm-hmm.
When I say digital first is, they grew up holding phones, right? Holding mobile phones. And for them, the concept of digital money is basically very easy to understand. So most people don't bring cash anymore.
Okay, so I'm currently at nobi's, in front of nobi's office. They're a startup that provides a platform where you can invest in crypto. It's an app, and I'm meeting the founder today. He's a serial entrepreneur, and it's his third or fourth company, I believe. They were founded during the year of 2018, and they're a venture-backed startup. So now I'm with Lawrence, Samantha. He's the founder of nobi, and he's a founder in Indonesia. You're a serial entrepreneur, right? You've been founding many companies because...
Yeah. I've been, a little bit of myself. I'm basically Indonesian, so I grew up here, had education in the States, and coming back here, I founded a couple of startups, and now I'm running nobi. And nobi is basically crypto. Asset management and brokerage. So we help people to invest and own crypto in a responsible way and a safe way. And we help people from different backgrounds and also institutions too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. May I know more of a background on how you ended up becoming a startup founder and ending up in the founding a crypto blockchain company?
Yeah, so I grew up as kind of like a nerd person. So I grew up, I love programming. I love computer and technology, and see how you can basically make so many great things, just by coding, just by using technology. And growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, you see how internet goes, right? So, and then when I was in college, Facebook came to mind, right? So and then we see that how Facebook started and how it changed people literally, when people talk to how people interact, how people meet with each other. You see people who have not been in touch for a long time. Facebook connects them together, and I see that as wow, technology can have a really positive impact to everyone. So I used to went to school in Ohio State in US, and then I worked there, moved to the Bay Area, and then see how things evolved there. Being in Silicon Valley, see how all the brightest minds in the world come together and build things there, and then being Indonesian myself, I still go back and forth Indonesia and US, right? So I see Indonesia as a really growing market, right? So and then we see that there's so many potentials, so many things that we can do in Indonesia, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I decided to come back to Indonesia. Rather than just continuing my career there or build things there, I decided to, if I want to build really great things, then I have to do it in the place where I need the most. So I decided to go back to Indonesia, closer to my family, I guess, but and then see how I can make an impact here.
I see.
Yeah.
Did you go to the US because you were into programming and you wanted to see the top level?
I guess so. That's part of it. I love to see a country with 4 seasons. Indonesia is very tropical, right? So I also want to go there because of that. But I think looking back, I think I made the right decisions, because I think if I just stay here or go to even different country, maybe in Europe or other places, I don't think I will be exposed as much as if I get my education there in the US.
I see. Yeah. Is it common to study in a US college here and become a founder?
would say not that common. It's 50-50. Maybe nowadays it's more common, but back when I started, it's not as common. I think most people here don't really see being a founder of a tech startup is something that can make you successful. Because to be honest, as a tech startup, when you founded a startup, there's the chance of success is always slim, right? So you have idea, no matter how good the idea is, when you see the potential, you will always see that, wow, the potential is so big, right? But when you hit the market, then you will have to adjust. You will have to see.
Right.
And I think there's a statistic that most startups fail in the first year, like 90% or 90-something% fail in the first year. So, people here in Indonesia, they don't see that as a lucrative opportunity, right? And especially because in the beginning, there's no VC, there's no like incubators or a place where you can brainstorm or have or validate or like basically you have to always bootstrap in the beginning. So the chance of success is becoming even slimmer, very small.
Is it still like that?
No, it's not like that now. I mean, that was like maybe like 10-15 years ago. Like if you talk to all the founders from that era, they will always say that we had it rough back then. Because now I think there are way more help. If you have an idea, you want to run a startup, or if you want to validate your startup, you have so many incubators, so many startup VCs, seed rounds, Series A, Series B. You have the government programs. You also have like firm from overseas, like PE or VCs who come here to invest to see, even government from abroad too, like they go here and see like if they can co-invest together with local. So I mean, there's just so many opportunity now, and I think also we have also the success story of companies like Gojek, Tokopedia, Traveloka, Lazada, all these brand names, and they are basically all unicorn, right? So when you have that story, it can encourage people to actually take the chance and starts to build something, right? So back then there's none of that, but now we have those stories.
Right.
We have smaller success stories, startups got acquired, even where they're only in seed or Series A, but those are basically encouraging stories that I think now young Indonesians, starts to consider, when they graduate from college here locally, and also like when they went to school abroad. So I think I heard so many stories nowadays that when they graduate from college, even when they went to school in US, when they graduate from college, they will be more open to come back and actually build something here rather than just stay there and working there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, do you feel yourself like as like being a founder for several companies? Like, do you feel that it was a lot easier to like start nobi than what you did in the past?
I think so. There's definitely more opportunity, and I think because this is not my first time, then you kind of know the drill. I already have like some networks, some connections, like the frameworks, like how we should do things done. Like we don't make the same mistake twice, right? So there are those, but also another thing. I think even though like as I said earlier, tech startup is a high risk thing. Indonesians actually in general are quite entrepreneurial. Like you see, like I don't see this in the States, and I don't see this in different countries, like modern countries. But in Indonesia, like most people have side jobs. Like even if you are working in office, you're basically white collar workers. You have a steady job. but most people have like side gigs, I would say, right? They will sell something online, or they will open a small shop near their house, or they invest in some, maybe like a small, in a small business, like let's say like if you go to like smaller cities, they will grow crops, or they will own like a small chicken farm, for example, right? So and those things are basically like very entrepreneurial, right? So very small things, but they do it consistently, right? So and that's not frowned upon. Like that's something legit that most people accept. Oh yeah, you have that business.
Really? So was it like that from like the past?
Yeah, and I think I mean Indonesia I think now is like growing to become like like the GDP grew up so well, right? So I think now we're at the point where we're starting to get comfortable. But like the past is not like that, right? The past most people have a harder life. So like it's very common for someone to have like more than one job, right? So, and those things, are actually encouraged,
I see.
where people, be smart with their money, then they invest in different things, start building something, and being one of the most populated country in the world, the pressure is there, right? So I think there's also that aspect where Indonesia as a country, as a nation, I think we are, we have this entrepreneurial mindset that is actually pretty common.
I see. Like, speaking of the population, I think that's one of the reasons why, like, nobi is gaining traction and all that.
Yeah, I think so. And this is, Indonesia have I think now like 150 million people and growing. We are set to be the third largest country in the world in the next 20, 30 years. I think by 2045 we should be like the third largest economy in the world. If we are growing at the right, at the right pace, right? But there's also the fact that Indonesia is in Southeast Asia, right? There are, I think, we have big markets like Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, right? And Vietnam, and those are all growing countries, right? But the fact is, all those countries combined, they're still smaller than Indonesia, because Indonesia have just these massive populations, and they're all very young, very consumptive, and they're very productive. So I think if you look at Southeast Asia, you just cannot overlook Indonesia. Like most companies I know from other countries in Southeast Asia, like from Singapore, let's say, right? So once they get steady enough, they will have to expand beyond their market, because their market is so much smaller than Indonesia, and they will have to see at Indonesia, because Indonesia have just these massive populations. So you look at e-commerce, you look at ride-hailing, you look at fintech, right? You look at, for us it's crypto, right? So the opportunity is just there.
Huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like especially in like the investment part, like the crypto investment. Like I did some research and like I found out like not many people still don't invest, even though there's like a huge population. So that's, I guess, like an opportunity for you. So like, do you actually like educate them to really?
I think it all starts from education. 17 million out of 250, that's, well, maybe like 7%, I guess, right? So
that's still huge.
It's still huge, but still minuscule. Right? If you compare to maybe like US or in the UK, right? I think the number stands around 20 to 25%. So we still have a long way to go, right? And so education is really important. We don't want them to get scammed and get into the wrong way of investing, right? So because this is because our population is still very young, and most of them are first-time investors. So it's interesting. Like when you say Like in other countries, maybe they will have challenges from people who are so comfortable investing in stock, and they will ask things like they will reject the concept of crypto because they don't, let's say, like they don't understand the fundamental, there's no company behind it, those kind of questions. Meanwhile here, people will, because they're first time investor, they don't know stock as well. So they're basically like a blank canvas. They don't know, like most of them they haven't invested in anything yet. So and when they have to choose between investing in stocks or investing in crypto, right, for them it's both are new anyway, right? So they have more, we have more, I would say, they are more open to the ideas, because it's not a new idea. For them, both of them are new, right? So they can judge them in the same light, right? So otherwise you will come from one background. It's harder for you to accept a new concept, right? And you know, and that's where the opportunity comes, right? And these people are basically digital first people. When I say digital first, is you know, they grew up holding phones, right? Holding mobile phones, and for them the concept of digital money is basically very easy to understand. Like most people here, they don't, at least in Jakarta area where people are already very advanced, right? So most people don't bring cash anymore, like cash, like hard cash, because if you see all the restaurants, they all accept QR code payment, right? So like I bring cash, but that's just as a backup. Like I would say like 90% of my transactions are done digitally.
Wow.
Using QR payment. So having that concept where money is digital, and there's also like crypto where this is like basically digital assets. You know, there's no resistance because it's like, well, my money is digital anyway, right? So I can accept easily that, you know, things can be digital, and digital things have values.
And especially because I guess
Yeah.
Indonesians are population pretty young.
Yes. Yeah.
Unlike us.
No. Maybe, right? It's just that it presents opportunity. And even the older generation of Indonesia, like they all have to adapt.
Really?
Yeah. So so it's interesting if you see the older generations, like you see people who are so good with their phones, like they use WhatsApp, they use like GoPay for paying all doing this, and digital banking. They were so good at that, but you give them computers or laptop, they don't know how to use it.
Really?
So they skipped that part. So they went straight from pen and paper straight to phones. And they wouldn't be able to use mouse or laptop, and even like the concept of email is kind of foreign. Then like, oh yeah, I don't check my email that often, or I forgot my email password. You see that kind of comments everywhere because they all use their phones.
I see.
Do everything using their phone.
Okay, in the next video, we will discuss further on the funding landscape and their strategies on expansion in the future, and also on more details about their services. So stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe.